Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the Coach Training Partners Podcast. My name is Gordon Duncan. I'm the owner of Capitalize Marketing and Consulting, and this show is part of the larger Capitalize Your Best podcast network of shows. On Monday, we have the This Is Gonna Hurt show, which is about making a better you. That's personal improvement. Today, Tuesday, is Coach Training Partners, where we help coaches maximize their revenue and create programs. On Wednesday, we have the Capitalize Your Best program, which is about growing your business and marketing. On Thursday, we don't have a traditional podcast, but we do have an 11 a.m. live coaching call. If you'd like to find that, reach out to me. And then on Friday, we have You're Entitled to Your Opinion, which is a fun review show. But guys, thank you for tuning in. The show continues to grow. I appreciate it greatly. But let me just hop in. As we talk about growing revenue as a coach or creating programs, as a coach, the question often is, how do I get started? There's lots of folks who feel like they have a background, they feel like they have the experience and they have the interactions that would make them a good coach, and they would like to create an additional revenue source for them. So how do you get started? Well, I want to offer 3 tips to get started for your coaching business. Some come from my personal experience and some that I've learned by working with the dozens of coaches in the Capitalize Your Best program. But here it is. These are the 3 tips to get you started as a coach. Number 1 is work for free. Yes, start working for free. Now, here's why. You can't initially declare yourself a coach and people go, oh, yeah, I want to give that person money. People need to know that you've got some experience. When I started my first business, it was eye care consulting. And I had been manager of an eye clinic for 4 years. And I hired and fired, I did the revenue, I did everything except be the eye doctor. And I went to seminary. I was going to get my master's degree. And I decided that I needed to make a revenue if I was going to somehow go to seminary full time. So I became an optometric consultant, but I didn't have any experience outside my own office. So what I did is I called a local doctor I knew, a local eye doctor in the area, and I had a good relationship with him, told him what I was doing, and I said, can I work for you for free? And at the end of the day, I'm going to give you some recommendations that I think will grow your eye care business. And if you like them, would you be a referral for me? So that was the ask. I'm going to work for free. I'm going to give you recommendations on how you can improve your practice. And if you like them, only if will you be a referral for me? And he said, sure, come on in. So I went and spent the entire day at his office. And along the way, I was making notes. And at the end, I typed up this big report and I sat down and I was ready to tell him how I could improve his practice. And as I got started, he said, Gordon, I don't care about that. I've seen what you do. I know your experience. I'll be glad to be a referral for you. And so that's the way it started. I started for free. And that free work is what led me to number 2. Number 2 is you've got to demonstrate results. So by working with this doctor, what I was able to demonstrate to him, he became a reference for me. So what happened next is I started working around and networking with some of the vendors in the eye care industry I knew. And I asked them, I was like, hey, do you know any eye doctors in the area that might be looking for consultants? If so, would you be a referral for me? And they said, yes. And so I got a call about 2 weeks later from a doctor who was curious about working from me. And he said he had called the doctor that I had worked for free. And the feedback was great. And that doctor had results he said, listen, I implemented some of the things I saw Gordon talking about while he was here. And then when I sat down with that prospective first client, I shared the results I have when I was managing my own practice, our increase in revenue, our efficiency, our client retention. I shared those results, and that's how I got my first client. You see, I started working for free. I did the work necessary. That person became a referral and a reference for me. When I got the very first interview to begin consulting or coaching with this eye doctor, he knew of the experience I had with the doctor for referral, and he knew of the practice that I managed. I had results that could be referred to. So you're not paying me for an idea, you're paying me to get the similar results that I got before. Even now in our coaching and consulting, I refer to our results, not to say you're going to get the same thing, but this is standard for what we see. People ask me all the time, what happens if I don't make my money back when they work with us? And I'll say, we have a track record of ROI. We have a track record of people making their money back. I can't make any promises to you, but we do. And then I share the specifics on that. So I started out free. I did the free work. That person became a referral. Then I used the results that I'd gotten both in my practice and that person's practice to demonstration of what could be. And that's how I got our second gig. Now, the third one is the big question is like, well, if you're getting started, how do you know how much to charge? Now, figure out how much you want to work for, but you can't just randomly throw out a number. The solution that I always offer is this: charge the value of the problem you solve. Charge the value of the problem you solve. I mean, I would ask an eye doctor, I was like, what if I could get you one more frame sold per week? They'd be like, that's not a lot. I was like, well, if that frame averages $300, and then I can get you 52 more of them, and you look at the math on that, right? And then you know how much I'm charging, it makes sense. But I would use bigger numbers than that. I would say, well, our revenue at my old practice increased by 8%, 7%. Imagine what 8 or 7% would be for your practice. And then that would be how I would determine my daily rate. As my results improved, I charged more. Just like when we started the Capitalize Your Best program, the very first client we ever sold it to was for $2,700. We have now sold that program between $12,000 and $24,000, depending upon what iteration you choose to be a part of. But the original value was based upon the value of the problem that we solved. And that may mean at the beginning, you're solving small problems and charging a small amount of money. But the bigger problems you solve, the more people you help, the more you can charge. And that's the way it works in almost everything, my friends. So if you want to get started in your coaching business, here's my suggestion. Start for free. Do the work. Let those people be a good reference and referral for you. From there, you've got to demonstrate results. Show the results that you've got for the free folks, and that's how you get your client. And then thirdly, when you charge, you've got to charge the value of the problem you solve. And you've got to figure out that numerical value, and you've got to be able to communicate it to others. So friends, I hope this is helpful. If you would like to start a coaching program, or if you would like to grow the revenue of the one you have, just reach out here at Capitalize Marketing and Consulting. We will help you do both, and we'll help you get results as soon as possible. Friends, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking the show. Tune in tomorrow for the Capitalize Your Best podcast. We'll talk soon. Thanks so much.